Back in the early 90s, Akihabara was a tech haven, long before it became the otaku paradise we know today. One of its landmarks being Radio Kaikan, a building packed with independent shops selling everything from electronics to hobbyist goods. Among the clutter of one of the secondhand stores was a box of cassettes. Most tapes within it were popular releases or unlabeled mixes. Nothing that really stood out, but one tape, tucked away in that box, would go on to survive and spark an internet mystery. That being the mystery of the Akihabara tape, or rather, the song within the Akihabara tape, also known as Fly Away. I've followed my fair share of internet mysteries over the years, but very few have caught my attention like this one. It has been almost 2 years since my last update video, and about 3 since I first shared the story. A lot has happened, and I think it's time we catch up. Back where we left off back in late 2022, a lot of progress was being made. The research team had just received a second mysterious tape from the original poster, who they were successful in contacting. The second tape song was dubbed Wagamama, as that's what's written on the tape itself. It means selfish in Japanese. And there's also a blue Ara cassette tape that was purchased along with these two. It has the phrase Aji no Moto gift written on it. There were also some more points of interest worth exploring. That logo seen on all those blue cassette tapes, and a promising vocalist lead. This logo is for a mysterious little company known as ARA, or ARA, or Audio Representative Associates. The font used for this logo was identified as Yagi Universal 2, which has been used for a number of logos and such over the years. Designed by a man named Teruoki Yagi in 1968, this doesn't really help narrow anything down, really. Back to that vocalist lead, though. We touched on this a little bit in the previous update as well, as many people felt that the Akiba tape vocalist sounds just like Arika Takarano, the vocalist of Ari Project. And this wasn't just based on opinion alone, oh no siree, as obscure early works by Takarano herself were uncovered, with some sounding very similar to Fly Away and the Fly Away vocalist. And it doesn't end there. Someone even used AI to compare the vocals, with this AI concluding that the voices were very similar if not the same voice. This news was huge, with the efforts now honing in on Takarano herself and getting in contact with her. It was in March of 2023 that contact was made with an artist named Fujiwara Kamui. Active on Twitter, Kamui was found to have been connected to Takarano through a 1987 compilation album, an album they both contributed to. Takarano through Ali Project and Kamui as the illustrator for the cover itself. The research team did reach out to Kamui regarding the Akiba tape, or rather the song on the Akiba tape, and the following exchange had occurred regarding it. Hello, I am part of a group that is working to identify the singer of this unidentified song. The common belief is that she strongly resembles Arika Takarano. If you can shed any light on this, please let me know. Thank you very much. Akiba Tape Research. If you ask me, it sounds like Ari-chan's voice, but the sound is different from Mikiya's. What is it? Thank you for your reply. May I ask if you're familiar with this song? I am not familiar with the song itself. This is the first time I've ever heard it. To summarize, the song was discovered around 1990. It was recorded on an originally blank cassette tape purchased in Akihabara. The cassette was purchased along with a similarly labeled cassette with the brand name ARA, Audio Representative Associates. The name ARA does not appear in a search on the internet. Back when Ari Project was discussing the possibility of releasing a record with a production company, they were told that their lyrics were good, but the sound itself was not good enough. So it is possible that this is a promo Ari made with a different band. Very interesting. Do you know if Takarano ever recorded a song for an anime or an OVA that was never released? Is it possible that the song was produced for a TV show and was cancelled before completion? Even if that was the case, Mikiya would likely have done the music for something that big, and this doesn't sound like Mikiya's work. In other words, I think there is a greater possibility that this is not anything done formally. And now we get to the climax. Is it possible to ask Arika Takarano directly to comment on this mystery? We have made several attempts to contact her, but it has been difficult. I have already emailed her actually, currently awaiting her reply. Finally, the answer many have been awaiting for quite some time. I was able to get confirmation from the person in question. She has no recollection of the song at all. I was sad to hear this, but just knowing that it's not Arika is a big step forward. I hope you will continue with your search. So, that's that. While not direct, the answer is from Arika Takarano. She denies any involvement with this track, has never heard of it, and thus, this lead is no longer that. It's no longer a lead. Despite how disappointing this may seem, especially after that whole AI thing and comparing the voices and all that, it's still progress. And I would like to personally thank Fujiwara Kamui for their help and insight regarding this. 本当に arigatou gozaimashita, Kamui-san. Also, while this should go without saying, please do not contact Arika Takarano anymore. She has denied involvement. I'm serious. A month following this news, another interesting little piece of information had surfaced. Piece of information possibly identifying that store that the Akiba tape was purchased in within the Radio Kaikan all those years ago. This discovery was made on the Together page for the Akihabara tape mystery, and before we get into this, Together.com is a Japanese site that compiles tweets regarding certain topics into articles. This article showcases a lot of information already widely known, at least to those already following the search, including that recent exchange with Kamui. But an archived tweet on the third page provided some additional insight. This tweet was in response to an initial tweet about the Akihabara tape by the Tubero, who is a Japanese blogger and YouTuber who discusses all kinds of internet mysteries. If this tape was sold secondhand, it's likely one of those demo tapes that vendors disposed of. There have been cases of used pre-recorded media being sold that could still be reused. If the person who recorded this is unknown, it would be difficult to trace. If I knew where it was, I might be able to trace the clerk at the time. Perhaps it was F. Shokai, which was located in a media specialty store such as Radio Kaikan. This is just a guess. A comment on the Together article itself also mentions F. Shokai. Used cassette tapes were sold at F. Shokai and Radio Kaikan. I also recall buying some from a broadcasting station in Yurakucho. Yurakucho is a district of Tokyo and about 3.5 kilometers from Akihabara, so not far away at all. After the search team reached out to the specific user, the broadcasting station was confirmed to be Nippon Broadcasting System JOLF, and that the tapes purchased from there contained previous broadcasts on the station. It's also worth noting that Fuji TV used to share the same facility with JOLF. The bigger point of interest is definitely F. Shokai though. F. Shokai was a small chain of secondhand electronics stores. And with a little digging, some information on the Radio Kaikan location was found on an old webpage. On June 3, 2005, the store moved from the 7th floor of Radio Kaikan to the 1st and 3rd floors of the current Akihabara Nomura building, Akihabara Central Square. And the name was changed from F. Shokai to First Media Shops. Special offers and clearance items that are only available at the first store are sometimes displayed in front of the store. Fits the description pretty well, doesn't it? Especially that bit about the items being showcased at the front of the store, which is where OP discovered that box of secondhand cassette tapes. Now, unfortunately, I don't believe these stores still exist, as according to the findings of the search team, both locations were permanently closed by 2012. The suggestions of those in Japan have proven to be particularly insightful. Here are some suggestions given to the Tubero, as well as some other Japanese tweets. It sounds like a demo tape, but it sounds professional. I was a frequent visitor to Akihabara in the early 90s, so this is an intriguing story. I think the woman singing wrote the lyrics and the melody chords herself. They're all over the place. A professional orchestra must have been hired to play the song. They managed to make this enjoyable to listen to. The synth, arrangement, effects, etc. sound like an OVA song from the mid to late 80s. The vocalist sounds somewhat like Hiroko Kasahara, a prototype of Yumi Matsutoya's A Midsummer's Night's Dream, perhaps? The vocalist's voice sounds like my own mother, though. Upon hearing the audio on the Akihabara cassette tape, I remembered a song by a singer from NEC Avenue. Maybe this is someone else, but I can't actually remember the name of this NEC song I'm thinking of. At any rate, it's not Miwa Kawagoe. The biggest reason I personally found this one interesting is the mention of NEC, particularly NEC Avenue. For those unfamiliar, NEC is an information technology and electronics corporation that has dabbled in just about everything. The 80s and 90s was an especially interesting time for this company, as they were involved with a lot of obscure releases. A few are genuine lost media. Examples included that Noah's Ark game that was lost for some time, and the Japanese localization of a CD-ROM port of Earthworm Jim. These are all rare NEC things that were found in 2024, by the way. More info here. Okay, but my point, what's my point? Oh, NEC Avenue was the same kind of obscure, but for music. This music and game publisher was only only active from 1987 to 1999. There were a number of artists exclusively associated with NEC Avenue. Here are some of the most popular artists that were affiliated with NEC Avenue. I'm not gonna lie to you all, this is when the search got pretty cold. So cold, in fact, that we didn't get any real substantial updates or pieces of information to go off of for an entire year. Excuse my grammar. But there were still plenty of things to look into. I mean, what is the deal with that Arika company? What did they do, and how much involvement did they have with the music on the cassette tapes themselves? This brings us to April of 2024, when some information on an Arika company was uncovered. Searching for a company with Arika in its name quickly proved to be quite difficult, but it was one particular keyword search. Kabushiki Gaisha Ara 1989 nen, which is Arika Company Limited 1989, that finally got a hit. A Wikipedia article for a Japanese singer named Riri or Lily. At first, the correlation isn't clear. That is, until you scroll down past her discography over to the commercial she was credited in. Here we find a listing for a song used in a 1977 commercial for the Toyota Carina. Listed under production are two companies, Dentsu, a well-known advertising agency, and Kabushiki Gaisha Ara. Listed were a few names of those who worked on this ad, most notably a Masao Yagi. A search within the BPCJ, or Broadcast Programming Center of Japan webpage, yielded even more commercials worked on by this Arika Company Limited, exclusively the ones that had won awards. Not their full library of credits, mind you. Most of the listings credit this Masao Yagi for music and composition, as well as two other names, Kazuo Yoshie and Osamu Sugi. When looking into Kazuo Yoshie specifically, as this name was also credited on the 1977 Lily commercial, this webpage was discovered, and it was learned that this Masao Yagi person founded this Arika company. Founded in the 1960s, the company primarily focused on the production of songs made specifically for commercial advertisements. This company, as well as Yagi directly, were also credited for working on the music for the 1970 anime Ashita no Joe. This Arika company, while not definitively confirmed to be our Arika, really fits the bill. I mean, they made music for commercials, and one of those cassette tapes found with the Akiba tape had the name of a food company on it. As a matter of fact, details continue to align beyond this. Arika continued to be active into the 1980s, and the final commercial that won an award was in 1988, and no other Arika credits can be found following this year. Masao Yagi passed away only 3 years later in 1991, which was around the time that OP found the cassette tapes in Akihabara. This Arika company is not around anymore today, so it can be inferred that the company went under around the time of Yagi's passing. As for those other names associated with Arika, Kazuo Yoshie stayed with Arika from 1968 to 1978, and went on to found the company Mr. Music, which creates music for commercials to this very day. Now, Osamu Sugi, though their name may be Shu Sugi, as no reading for the kanji in their name is specified, is speculated to have acted as director of Arika, but later on became president of the Japan Advertising Music Productions Federation, or JAM, from 1983 to 1984. It's also worth noting that Mr. Music, Yoshie's company, is a part of JAM. So once again, it can be inferred that this Arika company went under at some point in the late 80s to early 90s. But those associated with Arika did go on to still be associated with companies that were involved with commercial music. So if this Arika is the Arika company that is on that cassette tape, then it is possible that Fly Away was a song produced for a commercial. Whether that commercial aired or didn't air, we have no idea. I'm just speculating right now. And the theory of Fly Away being a song that was made for a commercial has been around since before this discovery. Now, as far as that Toyota commercial featuring the Lily song, it isn't available online. It's speculated to potentially be a radio commercial, but the article does not specify this at all. As for the other documented Arika commercials, the 1984 One Couple Zeki commercial appears to be on YouTube, and the award-winning pieces appear to be viewable at the Broadcast Programming Center itself, but many of these old Arika commercials are likely lost media. And if that wasn't enough, what may possibly be the biggest development in the history of the Akiba tape search was made on the 28th of that same month. Because We officially got a song identified! SBS, a founding member of the Akihabara tape search team, has posted various videos with the Akiba tape song as well as the song on the Wagamama tape. Some titles and captions are in English while others are in Japanese, you know, to get the word out. It was thanks to the Wagamama upload in particular that 2 Japanese users were able to see them and leave the following comments. This was on Yasuko Naito's 1985 album Hold Me. The song is Yume demo Iikara, lyrics Mikio Sato, music Karashike Matsui. I had asked my father if he had any records by Yasuko Naito, and he told me he had owned a copy of Hold Me, so I immediately went to listen to it. While it is the song, the melody itself is quite different. I suppose this version is a demo or something. Edit. I did some searching around and discovered that this specific song was originally sung by Sara Takahashi under the name Sara Minase. The version on Yasuko Naito's album is a cover. Perhaps the vocalist on this tape is Sara Minase? Upon further research, information on Naito and Minase's versions of the song were found online, including Discogs listings with all the info. What about the audio itself, though? The Sara Minase version wasn't up on YouTube at this point in time, and the only way to truly find out if it was the song was to hear it. Well, that's where this webpage came into play. Discovered with a bit of searching. Also, fun fact, depending on your definition of what a fun fact actually is, this specific site went down for a little bit on the day that Wagamama was identified, perhaps from the surge in traffic. On April 28th, Wagamama, the second Akiba tape song, was identified as Yume demo Iikara by Sara Minase. Born in 1955, Minase was active in the industry from 1980 to 1984, when she released Yume demo Iikara. Now, yes, the Akiba tape was not identified. Not yet, at least. However, information relating to Yume demo Iikara could prove invaluable to the search. Remember, the song was also found on one of those blue Arika cassette tapes that was purchased at the same exact time in the same exact location. So much progress has been made in the past 3 years. And with one of the Akihabara cassette tapes being identified now, I have more hope than ever about Fly Away finally being identified. There have been various artist theories ranging from idols, band members, to relatively unknown singers. A lot of very interesting theories out there and a lot of dedicated effort. I'd like to personally thank the Akiba tape search team for making all of this possible at all. I don't know, if like the wind can be identified after literal decades of searching, this song can be as well. And if you thought that was the last you would hear from Arika Takarano, you'd be wrong, because another response was received, this time directly from her. Once again, please don't contact her anymore. She has no information, she has no involvement. Anyways, that is all I have for you today, but hopefully we'll have some more updates soon. I will certainly keep you posted. And while I have you all here, I do want to thank everyone for following me along on this mystery. I made the first Akiba tape video when I was a pretty small YouTuber. I had less than 10,000 subscribers. Maybe less than 5,000, I don't remember, to be honest. It was 2021. It was quite some time ago. Now into the beginning of 2025 with all these developments and all these people interested in this Lost Wave topic and just where this channel has taken me in the time since, I just want to thank you all. Thank you for joining me on these little adventures, and thank you for enjoying the content that I make and bringing me to this point right here, right now, doing this little thing, as in the video and the other videos I do. Anyway, Patreon shout out time. Here is future me doing that. Hello, it is I from the future, and gremlin mode is in full effect. I typically put on makeup and get the whole audio setup ready for this and, you know, do my thing, but this week has been pretty rough. This video is a week late because I've had a lot of health hiccups that I've needed addressing. So here I am. The show must go on. I am just, you know, straight up just base form Alex right here, as I would look naturally, just here for you all today. But yeah, the video is about a week late. This probably won't matter, like, you know, later on when it's like months down the road, but I do apologize for the late upload. It has been a very difficult week, I'll just say that. Anyways, it's Patreon shoutout time. Huge thank you to Misatu Sumemasa, Jelly Rolling, Rum Man,
Charles Dawson, Mugen, Gero Riffer, Juno Zanelli, Junosis Burns, Rex Drinks Red Bull, Rachel, Vanessa, Raglan Strom, Black Taco 695, Rain Summer, Kyle Hockenberry, Solid Ellipsis, Spencer Lynn, Nomber, Josh Spears, Lauren Hoagland, Joe Woe, Aiden Sexton, J-Man, David Lawrence, Erlyn Knifelot, Gabriel, Connor McLaughlin, Jordan May, Stefan Bride, Creepy Leanie, Bill Baker, Gina Britton, Luke Brown, Pigpen, Layla Bloom, Lizard Queen 27, Newt Newt Fruit Shoot, Hexmaniac Hana, Chitoge, Jeremiah BLR 322-32232, Rora Morasso, Lena SD98, Hada, Meek, Sidnep, Hosea DeRoca, Akali, Red Hoodie 50, Iggs, Eels, C Chameleon, Digital Dubs, Shivam Vashi, Pan Fried Life Jacket Awareness, VGM, Anegra J. Reese, Argua Bill, Christopher Valencia, PP Pass Katag, Andrew LaPena, Mads House, Airfire, Grand Tactician, Sokol, and Bishonen Knife. Once again, thank you so much everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully feeling a lot better. I'm literally probably just gonna go back to sleep now. The council has formed. Anyways, yeah. See you guys in the next one.